Welcome everyone, today I'm going to be modeling a red dot site called the Vortex Strikefire 2. This whole project took me over 10 hours and I'm really pleased with the results, so enjoy. After I set up my folders, I got my reference images. If you're modeling something that is real, the best place to find high quality reference images is the manufacturer's website. After that, I started my low poly modeling. The base cylinder for the site is a cylinder with 50 edges. That may seem like a lot, but if you put this in a first person shooter, you don't want to be able to see the edges of the scope. After that, I just constantly looked at my reference images and made sure that my model looked as real as the scope. If you're wondering how to turn your model white, in the Properties tab under Shading, you can turn on Matte Cap and Ambient Occlusion. This makes your model look really nice while you're modeling. Once you finish with the low poly modeling, it's time for the UV unwrapping. You can do a smart UV unwrap, and that is the computer doing its best job to unwrap your model. It does an okay job, but if you want the best quality, then you do it by hand. It's important that you keep your UV islands as straight as possible so your normal map looks good later and it's free of errors. For the temporary texture, I used a rainbow checkerboard image that I got a long time ago and has numbers and letters, so it's easy to see if anything is distorted. After that, it's time to UV pack. This is basically the act of fitting all your UV islands into a UV canvas. You can press Ctrl P and let the computer do it, but it does a horrible job and you lose so much quality when you do that. On the other hand, doing it manually is just so boring and painful, but that's what I did. In order to see your UV islands better, you can turn on Stretch in the Properties tab of the UV editor, which colors all your islands blue. Now it's time for the high poly modeling. This is just when you create a copy of your model but high poly. This means that there are significantly more edges and the model has softer edges and more detail. Blender has some great tools for this built in. If you add the bevel modifier and the subdivision surface modifier, then set your bevel modifier to weight mode, you can control which edges you want to be hard and which ones you don't. You add weight to an edge in the edges menu by pressing Ctrl E. Whenever the subdivision surface is acting up, you can easily use the bisect tool or the knife tool, which both help control the subdivision surface modifier from screwing up your model. Now comes the fun part, texturing. I use Substance Painter and it is totally worth the one-time payment of $150 or $20 a month. After I baked all of my maps, I started out by adding all the vortex logos. Afterwards, I set the PBR shader to metal with alpha blending or else you can't see the opacity. Then I added an emission and opacity channel to be able to make my site. Then I made all the grips on the site, which were just a tile generator on the height channel with a mask on it. Later, it was just figuring out which smart material looked best. OBS crashed and I lost about half of texturing footage, but I got most of it. So here's the final result. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.